Hello there. Today I'm going to be talking about our voice box and our vocal cords. So our voice is obviously made when the vocal cords or the vocal folds vibrate. And first, before they have to vibrate, you need some air for them to do that action and for them to phonate, which is just having enough air. After a bit of air, they vibrate and then there is sound. And did you know, interesting fact, it takes about 18 muscles to hold your laryngeal box, the whole larynx together. So there's a lot of muscles that work and coordinate with your speaking. So when some of these muscles do not work as well or work as quickly or tighten too much, that's when problems with the voice happen. Now you may wonder, why do muscles tighten? Why do they get weak, or why do they get so tight? There are lots of reasons, and one of the most common ones are talking when your vocal cords are tired or injured, or lots of stress and anxiety and tension from speaking in normal situations. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a big presentation or a big singing performance you've done. It could be just normal day-to-day life and you just hold just too much attention, and the first place that gets sensed is your larynx, your laryngeal area. So we hold lots of tension there, and in moments like that, we tend to if we have too much of talking for the day, too much of voice use, singing or whatever you do for a living, we might tend to injure them a bit more. So it's a combination of factors. The other factors that could happen is when you're too nervous, you tend to squeeze your vocal cords quite tightly, and hence your voice is not so clearly heard. So you could be like, I'm really quite tense, can't get my words like that. Okay, that's an extreme case, but you get my drift. So the muscles in our larynx are not easily seen. Well, they're not seen unless you strobe them, or they're not even felt, because if I said to tighten your biceps, you can see where your biceps are pretty much, or you know where they are, and you can tighten them and you can see them change in shape and size, but not so much for your larynx because it's so tiny. It sits on top of your voice box. It's pretty hard to know where it sits. It's pretty hard to know how it feels. So one thing I like to do is bring awareness to your vocal cords, and so that we pay attention to not tightening them, to using them in an effortless way, so we can get our speaking out without struggling too much. Okay, so what I'm going to do is talk a little bit more about vocal cords and then explain to you where they exactly are. So the pitch of your voice is determined by the amount of times your vocal cords vibrate. For males, it's about 80 to 130 times, I think, a minute. For females, it's about 180 times to 200 times a minute. So that's how fast our vocal cords vibrate, super quick, which means the pitch changes. Also, where your vocal cords sit, the voice box can sit really high up or they can sit really low down, and the pitch of your voice can change as well. Also, the length of your vocal cords, they can stretch really thin or be really short and thick and sound a bit different, like what I've just done with my vocal cords. So there's lots of science that goes behind it, and there's lots of ways you can manipulate it and work with it, but stick with me for the rest of the couple of videos. Today I'm just going to tell you where your vocal cords are. So literally, if you feel for your Adam's apple if you're a male, or if you're a female, kind of feel for when you swallow, the part that moves up and down. So that's your main voice box. So kind of move your fingers up and then take a breath, hold your breath, and then let it go silently. So pop, pop, pop. So let me just do that for you. The little that sound is our vocal cords opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, because they have to open up to let some air go. So there's a glottic kind of a popping sound. Now that is your vocal cords working in action. So the next time, have a little play with them and see how you can control your vocal cords, and then you can go, I want to really tighten them, which you don't really want to, but you want to feel how it is when you tighten them, as well as speaking when they're relaxed and they're open and they allow for lots of air. Okay, in the future vlogs, stay tuned, because I'll talk a lot more about voice and how to control your vocal cords, how to change the pitch of your voice so you do not sound like you're some high-pitched girl or just high-pitched person or some really overly deep dark voice. You want to aim for a nice resonant voice, and you can do that by working on your vocal cords and the way you hold them. Till the next video, see you then. Bye.